Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Beyond the Veil, a podcast on psychic protection, spiritual hygiene, and navigating the ebbs and flows of the healing journey as you learn to master both your sovereign and shadow selves. My name is Lauren on Earth, your host, and we're going to be taking a little bit of a break in the creation stories and the ancient texts because I want to talk about detox and physical health and share what I have been doing to heal my body, mind, and soul. Honestly, after a lifelong and multi-lifelong psychic attack, and I say lifelong because I've had health issues and mental health issues and disassociation issues my whole life. And I'm tracing it back to this energy, right? This energy that has been plaguing me, that is plaguing many of you, and not realizing it at the time of what was causing the illness and the negative thoughts that were then, you know, manifesting the illness. And only really consciously was I aware that it was a psychic attack for about 5 years, but sick my whole life. So I became aware in 2018 and was able to stop it via the immunity in 2023. And so now this dark energy can no longer access me. It can no longer enter. And I'm just purging out what is already there. And as soon as it stopped coming in, maybe after 4 or 5 months of really intense, really deep work, did I feel like my body was finally able to heal after decades of like doing the work, taking all the right supplements. But it's like I was in this vicious cycle. And now that it stopped, my body finally is healing in ways that it just hasn't been able to over the last decade because I've been consciously detoxing, consciously healing for 13 years. So, you know, now I've been just working through a lot of trauma. And when you're constantly susceptible to this energy, which I feel, like we really are all under attack in different ways to different degrees by our elites, our government, our leaders, who are an embodiment of the same energy we see in the spiritual realms, the same energy of the physical parasites in our bodies. And I will definitely talk more about parasites because they are the cause of most of the health issues. They are a representation of this evil energy that exists, right, in the unseen realms and in the spiritual realms, but not today. Maybe a little bit today, but parasites are a really important piece to all of this. So, and while the psychic attacks for me have stopped, I'm still dealing with parasites. I'm still cleaning, clearing, transmuting, alchemizing so many layers of my consciousness as I'm focused on what's already there. Just not having to worry about protection in the same way or anything new coming in. Of course, I'm still aware, I'm still tapped in, I'm still mindful. But the parasites are in our food, they're in our water, they're in the fog that, like many cities and states in the US, right? This mystery fog. There are studies that have come out that show there are parasites in the fog that we are breathing in. So they're very hard to get rid of. And they contribute to a lot of health issues, including gut issues, including brain fog and other things as well. So recently, these gems have been falling into my lap. This technology that changes the health game, new products that have been really top tier. I have been every day in so much gratitude every time I think about it, like multiple times a day, over the fact that these not only products, but bits of information, certain people coming into my life that have introduced me to these things, because I was in really bad shape after these attacks. As you guys know, I gained 20 pounds, didn't get a period for 3 years. My hair was falling out. You could just see it in my face. Like my lymphatic system was so backed up, just like a loss of vitality. I felt like I aged 10 years. My spirit was doing well, but my body really took a toll. And there was so much stagnation in my lymph. My eyes were heavy, rashes all over my body, carrying this weight in my lower belly that you could just tell was dark, was distortion, just bad energy sent to me from mostly from these people, this woman, some of it being trauma, some of it being protection, right? That's sometimes why we carry this weight, even though diet and exercise and everything else we're doing, it shouldn't be that way. But a bit of it was like, what's left now at this point is trauma and a little bit of protection, but most of it was her, which is crazy, right? To think that I was carrying all of that. So been working to shed the weight, to heal, to restore vitality, to repair damaged tissue and brain cells. And you guys know I have the brain tumor, but my period is back, which is amazing. Like I said, the weight is almost all off. I feel so much better. I feel young again. And I think you guys can see it in me. So I'm ready to share what I did, what I've been doing, the products I've been using. I've been learning them, preparing to share them with all of you if it resonates, if it's something you've also been looking for or been interested in. And this is not me trying to sell you something. This is me sharing products that work, that have changed the game for me, that have supported my healing, these high quality products in a world of a lot of garbage. And I know I said I wasn't going to talk about parasites today because I want to give a full rundown of like what I do, what I've been doing, what worked, what didn't work. But I just want to talk about one herb before we get into everything else, and it's black seed oil. So the black seed oil, combined also with harataki powder, um, has been very gentle and very helpful for starting to clear out parasites. Like I said, they're vicious and they don't want to leave, and they will bury themselves deeper in your organs. And if the energy in the body is bad, right? And bad as in distorted, heavy energy, it's the perfect environment for them to continue to grow and multiply. So it's really important. Like if you feel like you have parasites and you want to do a cleanse, it's really important to make sure you're doing the energy work as well, and making sure that you're clearing out whatever is creating that perfect environment for them, because then more will die along with that. So if you're just doing a parasite cleanse and you're not really changing anything else within your internal environment, you'll kill some, but it won't be that effective. So maybe you want to do a little bit of research on black seed oil and the benefits of that, and harataki powder and the benefits of that, and the combination of the two. And maybe you do feel called to start there. Otherwise, you might feel like, yeah, I know a cleanse is coming, right? And also, really, spring is the perfect time to cleanse. We're obviously still in the dead of winter, and maybe this is a time for deeper internal reflection, internal work, starting to really look at this internal environment, these clearings, the healings, and really focus on that over the next 6 weeks, and then prepare to do a cleanse then, which by that time, the parasite episode will be out. So I think this would be my recommendation. Okay, we're going to get into stem cells. This is not the first thing I did, but one of the most important things I've done so far for self-renewal and regeneration of cells that were carrying disease and bad energy and all of the things. I feel like the NAD is right up there, like between the stem cells and the NAD, most important. I'm going to just quickly talk on the NAD because you guys have probably seen my stories. I've done a lot of research on this. And I've found that you can take NAD through an injection, an IV, pills, which I do not recommend. I don't even want to say that. Please do not do that. And patches. I found the IVs are the best. I feel it most. It's the strongest of what absorbs into my blood, and they are time consuming. Usually, the first time I did 1,000 milligram of NAD injected as an IV. I was there for 6 hours. The second time I did 500 milligrams because I'm like, I can't keep doing this 6 hour thing. And I wound up actually being able to finish it in under 3 hours because I was now getting used to it. And I was able to, it's a very slow drip and it can make you a little nauseous and not feel so well. And I think that was, why I was guided to the patches first, because people were telling me, like, you're there forever. It's very time consuming and it's painful. And they were not wrong. But my body, like the way it feels taking the IV, I'm like, well, I got to learn to deal with this. So I've done now 2 500 milligram IVs since, and I've done them in under 2 hours. And the nausea has not been as bad, but it's definitely, takes some getting used to, and you are, putting a needle in your vein. So it really depends on what is best. I don't have recommendations for you guys. You got to look in your own area, right? Because you've got to be in person for this. Whether it's a med spa or a place that is known for doing IVs, you can take that upon yourself. But I recommend, the IV, because that has been the way that I feel like the most for, what you're getting. So NAD, I've been doing it not like they're recommending it. Science says, you want to do several of them kind of back to back to back, all kind of within a confined time. I was doing the patches for a while, and now I've been doing the IVs every 2 weeks or so. I feel that my body is asking for it more. It's just like not working with my schedule, and it's time consuming, and I'm doing it when I can. So just listen to your body, do your research. What I did was I called a bunch of IV places where I lived in Denver at the time, asking them what they recommended. They all kind of said the same thing, which is we recommend doing, high dose every week for, a couple of weeks. But please take this upon yourself to go and call and do a little bit of research and ask, because I definitely kind of did it my own way. It worked. It works for me, but I'm not going to go recommending, these things where I'm not entirely following the science behind it. And before I get into the stem cells, from an energetic standpoint, one of the things I do in session is identify disease and miasma code in the genetics and the blueprint. So basically what that means is we have these patterns in our DNA, in our energy body that carry disease. Like there's a code within that code, or the code has this disease or this viral energy to it. So what I'm doing is going in and clearing that out. And also there have been times, especially on myself, but times in session as well, where I am actually pulling the physical parasites out of the body, and I'm seeing them in real time leaving. And then they just, right, they're being, I guess, killed through the light technology, through the energy work that I'm doing, and then are expelled that way, which I found really interesting, because sometimes it's like we can be taking herbs, but it takes months. The herbs takes months. And it's amazing to have, nature's medicine that can support us, but sometimes, we need, to incorporate this technology. You've maybe listened to some old episodes with artificial intelligence and Elon Musk and how they have the technology to do this, but they're just not doing it, and they're using it for their own self-serving purposes. So, I've been trying to really learn this intelligence, this technology that I have access to from the higher spiritual planes, to be able to clear this disease from the body, from all lifetimes, clear the parasites. So that's something I've been working on, right? All of this, my own inner work that I've been doing, this purging, this clearing that I've been doing has allowed for more of these soul gifts to come forward. So, if you're working with me and we're working through health issues, you've, been seeing this and feeling this, and you already know this. And when it comes to detox, it's a dance between the energetic and the physical, because you can be doing physical detoxes all day, every day. But like I said, if you're not looking to the root, the energetic, the emotional, the past life, the ancestral, the toxins aren't going to leave the body. I can't tell you how many times I've been wanting to do a liver cleanse and spirit is like, no, you have so much built up emotion. You need to work on that first, or the cleanse is just going to be hard on the body for no reason. So the parasites aren't going to die off because your internal energetic environment is a match, because you have vampiric entity attachments that are a parallel to these parasites, right? Like the parasites are little viral parasitic vampiric entities, or you have weak boundaries, or so on. So for me, I go through phases and cycles where I'm healing energetically, then go through the physical detox, then give my body a break. Then I keep going with the emotional. But again, the energy work for me really never stops. And, I've been saying this a lot, but I really want to keep saying this to help you guys understand like just how much dedication this really takes, right? Where I probably work on myself, I don't know, like 5 to 7 days a week, averaging 2 to 3 hours a day. But for a long period of time, it was 5 to 12 hours a day. And, there's just a lot of it. And this is why we're here, and where I think a lot of people are like, oh, this is so much. And it is a lot, and it is going to get better. But it's also like a big part of our purpose in this lifetime is like this beautiful healing that we get to do on ourselves. And like we're spending a lot of our time on this right now, but eventually it will open us up to being able to live a beautiful life. And where, we won't have to be dealing with this anymore, and it's going to change and it's going to be different. So the more we can surrender into it, the more that we can just accept like, okay, I have been waiting lifetimes for this moment where these cycles that I've been working to clear for hundreds, if not more lifetimes, are finally clearing. And that is something to be celebrated, not something to be met with annoyance and anger and resistance. And the more that we can accept that and find peace in that, the more the energy is going to move. So with the detox, opening up the detox pathways is very important. This is going to be, I think, also part of this parasite episode. But lymphatic massages, learning how to do lymphatic massages on your own. There are YouTube videos that you can find, or you can go find a solid practitioner in your area, get a lymphatic massage, have them kind of teach you the 6 pathways that you want to open, and start incorporating that into your daily practice, because our lymphatic system, there's no, like, it's not moving unless we're moving or we're moving it. So exercise, walking, dry brushing, gua sha, lymphatic massage on ourself, sauna, right, to then help the toxins leave through the skin. Don't make the same mistake that I did by not putting 2 and 2 together and letting the lymph build up to the point where you have gained weight from it. So the obviously it doesn't need to be every day, but multiple times a week, tending to your lymphatic system, moving it every day, even if it's just walking or running or, using your muscles, lifting weights. All right. What are stem cells? So stem cells, and why I was so drawn to this, and why my soul knew I needed this. They serve as the body's raw materials, meaning they can self-renew and generate specialized cells with specific functions, such as muscle cells, blood cells, brain cells, and so on. They are fundamental to the body's growth, repair, and regeneration process, and they can divide and replicate indefinitely and have this potential to basically develop into any type of cell that the body needs in that moment. So, renewal and regeneration. And like I said earlier, you have to remember that our planet is being poisoned, our food, water, air that we breathe, and food and herbs, it's just not enough to restore the body's vitality. And stem cells help to maintain the normal function of tissues by continuously replenishing cells that are lost due to natural wear and tear, due to our environmental issues, or like me, from years of attack and witchcraft and dark energy that has plagued my body. So they can help to replace damaged or dying cells or cells that are carrying a darker or distorted energy. And if you're someone like me who has experienced the intense process of purging this dark energy and it has left your body feeling depleted and out of balance, or you've been struggling with chronic illness or physical ailments or even emotional and mental imbalances, or if you're looking to slow down the aging process, and it's not like aging is beautiful, yes, but also we age a lot faster because of oxidative stress, because we're not taking care of ourselves. And I want to age, but age gracefully. And so it's not about trying to look as young as possible. It's just about like the love and care of tending to your body in all ways. And that is going to slow down the aging process. So rejuvenating your body, reclaiming your vitality, right? Maybe we don't want to grow older, but it's going to happen no matter what. And we need to accept that and find beauty in that. But why can't we be full of vitality and full of life as we age? So if any of this is resonating, this could be for you. I did a lot of research on this as well, because IVs of stem cells are one, very expensive, especially in the States, tens of thousands of dollars. I did find places in Mexico that were about a quarter of that price, around 2.5 to 5 grand. But then the more research I did, the more I realized I don't want to put someone else's stem cells in my body. Even if it's an animal, even if it's a baby, it's still foreign. And that, yeah, it was much better to do it using technology and using the intelligence of my own body. This was my call. If you want to inject stem cells from a foreign object, entity, person into you, or you have done that, by all means, yes. For me, something was just not feeling right about it. And so I waited and I found this product. Um, Two other things that can help produce new stem cells, if you don't want to go any of these routes, are water fasting and drinking your own urine. I personally could not bring myself to drink my own pee, but to each their own. I have friends who do it, and good on them. It takes this strength that I guess I do not have. And also with the water fasting, I do water fast here and there when my body calls for it. It's really the best way to regenerate, honestly. But it's like, how often do you have to water fast? How many times do you have to do this to get the results you want? Personally, I can't work while water fasting. It's very hard on my body. It's very hard on me mentally. And right now, what I need mentally is a lot of love and gentleness and softness. I was in the sauna yesterday, and actually we were talking about, just with random strangers, talking about stem cells and how he's going to Medellin, which I've heard to go there for stem cells. And I was like, do you know where they come from? Because I would also consider getting an injection, and he's like, probably babies in Korea. I don't know. I'm like, okay. And then another guy was saying, because it was really hot in the sauna, and he was like, um, basically saying when his mind wants to leave, then he tells himself that he needs to stay another 5 minutes. And I was just thinking like the same thing, where I'm like, my mind can't be like that right now. Like my mind needs like, it's okay if you want to leave, get out. Like it's just where I am in the healing of this tumor and the healing of all of the distortion from the mental. You guys know I've, my up until, I don't know, I guess really like 21, 22, very severe mental illness. And I can't be that strict with myself right now in any way. I need to be really gentle. So sometimes that, intensity with the mental where you really need to force your mind to do something is necessary. And sometimes it's not. And I think it's knowing the difference for yourself and not listening to other people telling you, oh, you should be, working with the mind in this way. And, while we're on the topic, I'm just going to say it, a lot of people are asking me about Joe Dispenza. I'm going to do a reel on this soon, but he is programming the mind in a very dark and messed up, scary way. So you need to be protective of your mind because and I had a client session the other day and they really got into her subconscious and did some damage. And I think about this all the time where I'm like, I'll be really deep in someone and like I know that if I was anyone else, like anyone with a bad intention, like they could do some serious damage, right? In that moment where I am like really, really deep in someone's subconscious, in someone's heart, in someone's energy body. And I just think about how like I would never ever in a million years, like not 1 ounce of me would ever hurt someone or want to harm someone. And the fact that there are people that like find joy in that and that are making you, trust them, and then they go in and do all this harm. It's like I just think about like the level of trust, or maybe the client doesn't even realize like how deep I really am in them and like how much damage I could cause if I wanted to. Like, why would they be thinking about that? But it's like the level, what I think about isn't that, but like the level of trust and just like this gratitude for the trust that they have in me to like allow me into their psyche, into their consciousness. And right, it's their higher self too, because we're working together. And I just have these moments of gratitude to the client to like trust me enough to like know that I'm here to love them and support them and clear the bad energy and not bring any more in. It's like I would never ever 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 do that. And it's really like beautiful to feel that within myself too, where it's like, sometimes it's not even there's ever a part of me that has wanted to harm, but there were parts of me that wanted to harm myself, I guess I would say more, and like block myself from receiving. And I don't feel that anymore. And it's really nice feeling of like, it's just love and it's all love. Like I'm on a tangent right now. Sorry guys. There's a part of me that like wanted to, like I was trying to receive and I was trying to heal, and I would feel these parts of myself come in and like not want that for myself, and all the shadow work and healing that I had to do around these soul fragments. But anyway, I don't know how we just got here, but back to, back to stem cells. Anyway, thank you all for your trust in me, for your investment in me, because I know it's an investment, but like what I hope you guys feel this, like what you're receiving, what comes out of these sessions, especially those that are deep in a process with me, like, and just the beauty of this process. So I thank you. I honor you. And I love you for real. I love this community. And I had a vision the other day. Actually, it was like in the sauna. A lot happens at Leaf Spa in Tulum for anyone who knows it, but of like seeing how this community, right, all of these people that have the following, but also really like the community in the group chat, because that's my close community, and how we're all creating this web, and I'm sending out these signals and this energy, this Christ light, these God codes through this web to everyone in the community. And I really feel like I've cracked this code, and I'm taking you guys with me. if you want to come with me, and it's like the closer you are with me, the more you work with me, the more I think you really feel it and see the love. And especially if there is a proper energy exchange, like there has to be a proper energy exchange. Like I'm not here to just give and give and give and have you take. It doesn't need to come back to me, but that needs to that giving needs to extend to someone else, right? It's like this beautiful dance that we're all doing. So if your intention in this community is to just take from me, I'm not going to, there's going to be a boundary and a wall that goes up. But if, there is, I don't know, it was a very beautiful vision, and I will share this in the group chat too, but I just wanted to say it here on how this is a community and a web of love and of, really being connected to the one true God. And I'm so grateful for everyone. So back to stem cells. I found this company. They're called LifeWave, and they make these products, these patches that you put on your body for 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Non-invasive, no downtime, no pain, no needles. I do mine from basically night to morning. So like 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. It's on while I sleep, and then I take it off in the morning. Really easy. There are two products, the X39 and the X49. I am currently taking the X39, where the main benefit is stem cell activation and enhancement, ultimately leading cells to behave as younger and healthier cells. So the other benefits of the X39, increased energy and better sleep, which I can also attest to, strengthening the immune system, improving cognition, which I'll get to in a minute. I haven't experienced this yet or even tried, but others who have been working with this technology have said reported relief from minor aches and pains. And I was also shown how you can place the patch onto the specific area causing pain or discomfort. The patches help with the quality of your skin. I mean, we're making new and healthy cells, so it will affect everything, the whole body, no? Because of this, regeneration, the skin will rejuvenate, the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles diminishes. They support the natural wound healing process. So anyone with, long-term wounds, cuts, scrapes, bruises, scars, pigmentation issues. And I'm not taking the X49, but I want to just talk about it. I'm going to take it. I just need to order it. But the main benefit is increased strength and stamina. So it supports a healthy cardiovascular system, lung health, cognitive function as well, muscle recovery, performance, energy, fat loss, bone health. So basically for performance, more stamina, gaining strength, rebuilding vitality just in a different way. I'm going to take both together. But I just wanted to work with the X39 first and just see how we go with that. The X39 elevates the peptide GHKCU, which is what plays the role in stimulating the stem cell production, the collagen synthesis, the wound healing and tissue repair, and then reducing inflammation and antioxidants and production of antioxidants. I'm getting confused because there's one more thing I want to talk about that has to also do with reducing inflammation and antioxidants. So I just had this like weird deja vu moment. But anyway, the X39 elevates AHKCU, which is another peptide known to promote, hair growth, circulation, bone density, so for longevity. Again, can't say it enough, repair and regeneration of damaged tissue and organs, right? Especially for those of you like me where there's black magic all over the organs and they've been struggling for a while, right? Anyone with like longer term liver issues, kidney issues, it's amazing for degenerative diseases as well. Like for me, I had a nerve disease and kind of still do, maybe like my nervous system is not fully back to health. So as these stem cells are going to work to replace damage and dysfunctional cells and restore them back to normal function, it will, help with the nerve damage and I don't think I shared this, but the diagnosis with the autoimmune diseases were all nerve degeneration. And it's really hard to heal from something like that because for my whole life, my nervous system was absolutely shot. So, a few weeks ago, I went back for another bioresonance scan, which is healing through frequencies, and more nerve degeneration came up. So the NAD is helping to support this. But as I'm saying this too, like I feel really good. I feel the healthiest I've ever felt in my life. I just know, there's more to go, and I'm excited for that. But yeah, it's just going to be a process as my nervous system was in really bad shape. So the stem cells support neurodegenerative issues as well, including replacing lost neurons and supporting brain repair, which is, I think our mental state for all of us is we're struggling, right? And that's okay. And we've been psychologically conditioned to believe a lot of things. They've been in our minds, the mind control. And like I said, we want to remove these implants and clear the mind control and all these distortions. And then we want to also support the cognition, because it has taken a toll on our ability to think, to process, to integrate. So coupling the subconscious healing, the mental healing with something like this. So for anyone who has trouble, is forgetful, has trouble with cognitive function, loss of memory, just feeling like your brain could be healthier, it's also preventative for Alzheimer's, and I'm going to be getting my entire family on this too. So for anyone listening who's worried about your parents aging or has a history of Alzheimer's in your family, history of anything like cancer, Parkinson's, MS, Crohn's disease, getting your family on this as well. There are some more benefits for cognitive health that I want to just mention too, that I feel are important, because when our mind is healthy, right? Like, because I think about some people in the older generations, and either like, the body is struggling, but the mind is sharp, right? And we want to keep the mind sharp. So reducing inflammation and swelling in the brain, regeneration of damaged brain cells and neural pathways, improving memory, decision making, concentration for anyone who is indecisive. And I know, again, this is patterning, but this could also support that, right? They work in tandem. So huge for anyone who struggles with this, because I can relate to all of the above. The ability to concentrate and process information. I don't know if it's from my trauma or life of disassociation, but over a long period of time of living this way has caused some brain damage, and obviously not permanent, let's hope. But for all of my indecisive friends and forgetful friends, just talking to you. It also improves brain plasticity, and like I said, the enhancing of memory retention, the ability to recall information, the reducing of brain fog, the repair of damaged brain tissue, um, the regeneration of neural connections, improving motor skills, speech, cognitive abilities. Sometimes I have a hard time recalling words. It's been an issue. And I would probably recommend, if this is you, using both the X39 and 49 if, there's some more serious health issues around this. So again, a really powerful technology in a time where technology is being used in such a dark and twisted way. I've played around with a lot of companies who are working with frequency and light technology in the past. The Healy being an example of this, right? Another frequency device that was just not it. And I've talked about the Healy before. I can't remember if it was on the podcast or social media. I purchased it. It was a huge waste of money. And I knew immediately, like, this is dark. There's something really off about this. I feel like the technology is not advanced. These frequencies are not pure, not strong. It felt cheap. Like when I was like, I paid $1,000 for this like piece of plastic, I was like, this is not a strong technology at all. And because of that, never felt a call to join in, to sell it to anyone, to speak of it, But I feel like as I heal and I go through these up levelings, the tools I find are of that frequency. And I felt it immediately. Like in the moment I read about these stem cells, in the moment I tried it, I just knew. I was like, okay, this is gonna help. And at the point of recording this, I think I've been taking it for about a month. It takes 7 days to notice a change. And the last thing I want to share about it is the support for hormone balancing. So anyone dealing with difficult periods, hormone imbalances, PCOS, fertility issues, this can support in those issues as well. So if you want to learn more, I've included 2 links in the show notes, one to my website with more information, one to their website, and one to a Google Drive where I have a whole plethora of PDFs and information with the science. So you get these patches mailed to you monthly. It's around $100 a month, and you get enough patches for the month. You wear it 12 hours on and 12 hours off. I actually need to take mine off for the morning. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'll just show you, but this is what the patch looks like. Obviously, it's, old now. It's been on for 12 hours, but it's just a small little circle that goes either on the lower belly or the back of the neck, and I kind of switch it up. So next thing is around water. I know a lot of you guys have actually been asking for a water filter that I recommend, something to help you clean and remineralize your water, and I did not have anything to share. So this product came into my field a few months ago. The first time I saw it it's actually kind of a funny story. I was on my friend's Instagram story. It wasn't an ad. She wasn't trying to sell it. She just had it. And I was like, I don't even know what this is, but I need it. And I don't know why I didn't DM her for some reason. I feel like, those friends that you just like always are asking questions. I just felt like, I don't know. I was like, okay, I'm going to ask her eventually. I just didn't in that moment. And so then that night I go to a Shabbat dinner and a woman there has it. And I'm like, what is this? I need this. I don't know why. Where did you get it? And she starts telling me what it is and lets me try some, and my entire body has a reaction. Like I feel it in every cell. And I felt kind of high. But I knew, like my soul just knew that I needed this water bottle. And she wasn't too helpful with me getting it on my own. And I felt she was like, I don't really like do this. I don't really sell them. Like I do more like IVs. And I'm like, okay, no problem. So then the next day on the beach, I run into my friend and he has one. And I'm like, where did you get this? And he goes, I'll get you one. He brings it back from Canada. And here we are. I just finished chugging it, but this is the bottle. Obviously, it's missing a cap. So it's called Luma Vitae. I'm pronouncing that probably so wrong. And it uses a technology that generates pure hydrogen rich water through frequencies as well as magnets that also mimic the magnetic field of the Earth's core. I'm actually going to go fill this up and for anyone watching on YouTube, show you guys really quick. Okay, so filled it up. There's 3 different settings. But this, if you're watching on YouTube, this is basically what it looks like. And you just let it do its thing for up to 9 minutes. So this is molecular hydrogen. It's a gas that has these studies done, right? Therapeutic effects for over 170 diseases. And it's the simplest and most abundant molecule in the universe. It's a fundamental component of the stars, including our sun. On Earth, hydrogen is a little less common in its molecular form, but is found as a component of water. So it has antioxidant-like effects and the ability to also regulate the antioxidant system of the cell, preventing oxidative stress from occurring and reducing it when it is present. Oxidative stress is really bad for us. Inflammation as well, anti-inflammatory. So it helps to modulate the body's inflammatory responses by addressing oxidative stress and preventing excessive inflammatory responses. Anyone that suffers from allergies, it helps to modulate immune responses. And then again, with the anti-aging benefits of helping to slow down the aging process by minimizing the oxidative stress and the inflammation. So kind of like a byproduct of the other two. This water, game changer, life changer. I have been waiting for something like this. The Kangen machine never felt right. I travel too much. So to have your own personalized water system like this has been amazing. I feel even like my body is like more. And I'm finding myself like even thirstier because I feel like it's hydrating my body in a way that, probably hasn't happened since I lived in Mount Shasta and I had access to fresh, clean water. So if you want to learn more, and I made a mistake. I said that there was a PDF with all the science. That is this product, not the stem cells. So I have two links in the show notes. One is a Google Drive with a wealth of information around this, getting into the science. And the second is a link to the website where you can go take a look. And I had this conversation with a friend. This was before I found the water because I've been calling it in, right? She said this thing to me because she's been on her water journey. But when I looked into what she's been doing, it didn't feel like a yes. I looked on the website. I was like, okay, something's telling me no, but like I'm calling it in. I'm calling it in. Please help me find a water filtration system or something that I can be doing, because she said something in a conversation a couple months ago that really stuck with me. And it was just like, our water is this integral part of the healing journey, and it's sacred and alive, and it's food and fuel. And so healing, and our water is dead and it's stripped and it's under attack. And if our water is not clean, it affects every cell in our body, and it's really hard to heal. And just like anything, it can transform back into its original property. Maybe some of you are, ancient keepers of water wisdom, and you're here to help restore the organic blueprint of our water through drinking water, through our oceans, our lakes, our, everywhere. I definitely feel that within myself, where I know how to recode water. It just takes time to like sit there and really meditate on it and work on it. But I really recommend doing that as well, right? You just take the water and you connect to yourself, you open your container, you open the space, you invite in God and your higher self and your teams, and you just sit there and you allow the code from the higher dimensions to come into the water. And, especially when you're swimming in the ocean, like allowing yourself to be a channel for the healing energies to give back to the earth, right? It's not always taking, it's also giving. So, for anyone who is a water snob, as I like to call it, and you feel like this product could benefit you, it has my stamp of approval and half of Tulum as well, because we're all on it. So yeah, we are blessed to have this technology that helps us get as close as we can to nature. Of course, going to a riverhead and a glacier and getting our water directly from nature is best, but we can't all do that. So we need to find solutions. This is, in my opinion, a really good investment for your health, your well-being. It's like, what do we spend our money on if not to improve our life and take care of ourselves and those around us, to enjoy life and invest in the things that will support us in that endeavor? And the last thing I want to talk about is ZENCLEANZ, which I've been talking about for a while now, but in my 13 years of detox, I found it is very hard, very difficult to detox. Like I said, these energies, these parasites don't want to leave. And, sometimes in these cleanses, we're bringing up the toxins, but then not actually expelling them properly. So it is an art, and it has to be done right. And all of these on the shelf, over the counter, detoxes, like they don't really work. I have made mistakes. I have lacked care in certain areas. I wasn't thorough. I've learned my lessons. It's like I didn't prepare properly. I didn't do the aftercare properly because I was just kind of just in a rush and not, mistakes. So don't do that. And today our science is not caught up and it's not accurate. So we're learning new things every day, right? One of the main issues, like I said, with cleansing and detoxing is the lack of binders to bind to the toxins to pull them out of the body. So we we start this process, but we can't finish it. And then the toxins are right back in the bloodstream and right back where we started. And we kind of have this, it's like we feel we're just overloaded with toxins, which is why the lymphatic drainage is so important, why the colonics, the enemas, the support in going to the bathroom, making sure we're expelling the waste is so important, and getting those channels clean before we do the detox. And like I said, with the herbs, it can take months to purge something. And I feel, I like ZENCLEANZ because one, the quality of the products, the effectiveness, the science behind it, and they use enzymes, which are these biologically active proteins found in all living cells. So they're these metabolic enzymes that regulate basically every biochemical reaction that occurs within the human body. So they are essential for cellular function. And that is what we're consuming to expel whatever the thing is. Every organ, tissue, all of the 100 trillion cells in our body depend on the reactions of these metabolic enzymes. So you're taking a lot of these enzymes to induce, right, the release of whatever it is in whatever area you're targeting. If you have digestive issues, if you have not cleaned your colon, please listen, because we are all backed up. We are all literally full of shit. And before you do any detoxing of the liver, the kidneys, the lymph, anything, we need to start with the colon, with the intestines, with the digestive system. Because since birth, we've been consuming, digesting, expelling waste, yet not all of it is eliminated. I cannot tell you, like, it's actually sick, because I feel that I am very healthy. I do enemas like once a week, colonic. I do those multiple times a year, probably like 10 colonics a year, if not more. And like it's crazy how much is backed up. So, the small intestine functions as this vital gateway between our food and the bloodstream, and helps to facilitate this breakdown of nutrients. And their absorption into the blood. So when the passage becomes clogged, it leads to, well, sewage in our body, malabsorption, weakening of our energy and of our health, infestation of parasites, and this waste gradually accumulates along the intestinal lining, forming what I've learned is mucoid plaque. And this buildup can create toxic backlog in the body and disrupt digestion and everything, honestly. I've struggled with digestion my whole life. And these products have really helped me. I didn't know what mucoid plaque was. Right? It's like I'm doing all these colonics and okay, I feel pretty clear, but then you do a mucoid plaque cleanse and you're like, whoa. And then you do another one and you're like, whoa, I'm about to do my third, because I know there's more. So yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a second. I just want to talk about one ZenCleanZ product for digestion that I really like to have on hand, and they're called fiber crystals. So these are for support in going to the bathroom. If you have constipation, irregularity, you travel a lot, you get backed up, these are amazing to carry with you. Laxatives are too intense. You don't want to be taking those. These are more gentle. They contain enzymes to activate peristalsis to encourage elimination. It's a lot of fruit. I know there's papaya in it. There's pineapple enzyme, bromelain. So it's, more natural than taking a laxative, and helps to, increase metabolism, the elimination of toxins, also reducing fat accumulation from the body. This has been a game changer. I've tried slippery elm, cascara. Cascara was a little bit too intense. It's not to be used often, but definitely in times of need. The slippery elm or the marshmallow wasn't enough. So yeah, that product, the fiber crystals, highly recommend. And then the ZenCleanZ one, and that is the mucoid plaque cleanse. So, We have, I think I mentioned this, but the buildup of waste, yes, the undigested food, the mucus being a big part, right? Like we're all full of mucus and that's causing more issues. So it's this sticky, rubbery, slimy substance on the intestinal lining that like does not leave through normal ways of like trying to eliminate, right? It I've never seen the mucoid plaque come out of a colonic. It doesn't come out when I take herbs. So it's a very specific way that you need to do this. I tried one more naturally I did 5 days of juices and then like a bentonite clay. It didn't work. Didn't work for me. So the cleanse is, yeah, what I keep going back to. And so it's a 1 day cleanse, but of course, you need to prepare and work on your diet. And the days after, you can't really be eating solid foods, but you can still eat. You can still, maybe, definitely not on the day of the cleanse, but, soups and smoothies and, really light foods. Um, so it's 1 day versus, right, a multi-week long protocol that involves herbs and supplements. I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer. And I'm preparing to do another one as soon as I go back to the States. I'm going to order it. So I will link the ZENCLEANZ in the show notes as well. For this, I do have a 5% off code, which doesn't seem like much, but it does take like $30 to $40 off the product. So everything is located in my website under brand partnerships. If you want more information, there are a lot more products. Some, I do get commission for, some I don't. It's not what it's about. It's about sharing this of, everything that has worked for me. And then I have my Amazon storefront as well that just kind of has everything all in one place, just trying to keep it organized. So I'll link that as well in the show notes, the brand partnerships on my website. And then, yeah, we're going to get back into the good stuff next time. I don't know if we're going to talk about more of the creation theories, or I think I'm going to switch it up with, dark force stuff. I don't know. We'll see. So, but there will be a parasite episode coming out soon. But for now, as we prepare to cleanse for the spring, and, let me know if you guys want to do a group and we want to, a bunch of us, if we want to do a cleanse and we all come together, we have a group chat, we do it together. Let me know if I have enough of you. I will definitely, support in something like that. We'll see what that could look like. And for now, keep going with the energy work, look into the lymphatic massages, start cleaning out your intestines, your colon, all this backup. Maybe you feel called to do the ZENCLEANZ mucoid plaque. Maybe you feel called to the stem cells, to the water, starting the repair. Maybe you don't feel called to any of it, and this is just fun education, and that is perfect as well. Let me know if you guys have questions in the group chat if you're not already in there, and I'll see you guys next time. For now, you can find me on Lauren on Earth on social media and laureноnearth.com. Bye.